Isn't it interesting how all of these conversations are now suddenly taking place about cross-border payments? Remember, I told you before, we covered an article recently on quote unquote faster payments. I don't know why they use that verbiage. We know they're not talking about faster payments. They're going to be very specific here. Everyone else is being very specific. We're talking when they're speaking about faster payments, they're talking about instant payments. Faster payments have always been available, and they're not faster. They're just faster than what used to be. That's all, right? What they want now, and what everyone's really talking about now, are instant payments. Same thing that Ripple's been pushing, Algorand, all of these different bank coin companies been pushing instant payment, or as they used to say years ago, before it was near instant. Now they could just do instant payments. That's what they want. That's what they're all talking about now. So now you have this. We're going to listen to this individual talking. This is the chief content officer at Payments. I'm supposing he's probably going to interview somebody. This is John Gaffney. All right, let's hear what he has to say, because I'm telling you, this is all leading to the golden age of DLT. They're probably going to talk about ISO 20022. I'm pretty sure, because I saw it somewhere in the article that's below this video. They're going to talk about interoperability, all of that. Well, I'm going to let them spell it out for you. Let's start playing it from here, okay? I'm going to turn it up. Hopefully you can hear this, and I'll give my thoughts like I always do.
Today is going to be cross-border payment strategy. I'm going to focus in particular on a recent report.
They're going to focus on cross-border payment strategy today. Why not yesterday? Not yesterday, but like yesterday. Why not last year? Why not in 2023? Why is there a rush? I'm asking you a question. I'm just asking questions. Why is there a rush now? What's about to happen now? What's the technology about to be unleashed right now? People are not seeing this. These big companies are not playing any games. They're not playing any games. They're not wasting any time. And they're throwing big money all around. All around. They're getting ready. But let's keep going. Let me contain my excitement. There's much more to go. Let's go.
From Citi, its latest GPS report is titled Cross-Border Payments 24/7, Faster, Simpler, Smarter, and it brings together Citi's latest perspectives.
They said a lot was saying a little faster, simpler, smarter. Of course, faster, instant payments. Simpler, DLT technology. Some of these companies 2 years ago were trying to make it so that some of the deployment of certain mechanisms only took a single line or two of code, folks. All of that. See, they said a lot was saying a little. All the evidence points towards bank coins, utility coins. I don't cover every utility coin, but I cover a good amount of them. I support a good amount of them. I can't support all of them, but it doesn't even make a difference. All of them have a chance to be in the game. They're all super bullish right now. Not financial advice. It's just my humble opinion. All right. You do what you want, but these are my thoughts. Let's go. Let's keep going.
On cross-border payments and the evolution of the payments landscape. The report contains insights from a Citi Treasury and Trade Solutions survey of about 100 financial institutions worldwide, including banks, fintechs, and insurance companies. It draws on expert insights from the Citi's Future of Finance teams, internal, external.
Oh yeah, they had to make sure the fintechs were involved. Oh, they're nowhere without the fintechs. Let's keep going.
Experts and their industry-leading TTS franchise. The TTS business is part of Citi Services Organization, which moves nearly $5 trillion for clients every day. Citi Services. He's
letting you know how big it is. $5 trillion every single day. This is one service they're talking about, a legacy service that now is limping towards the finish line. Guess who they need to get to that finish line? Guess who they need to get to that point where they rise to a height of the likes of which they've never seen? They couldn't even fathom it without the bank coins and DLT. They're waiting on the bank coins. They're waiting on DLT, in my humble opinion. What else would they be waiting on? Why didn't they jump on board the legacy system faster payments of the last 5 to 7 years? Well, why wasn't that good enough? Why weren't all of their inside projects popping off like they thought? Everybody thought they were going to pop off, except me. I didn't think that. What happened to those projects? They weren't good enough, were they? They didn't have enough interoperability, did they? No, they didn't. But we do. So that means $7 trillion, something like that, a piece of that. What would that do? That starts flowing through one of those bank coin blockchains or a hash graph. What does it do to that price? This is one. Imagine taking a piece of trillions from a multitude of services that will be using the most interoperable, fastest, most efficient mega system ever constructed, the new financial system. What will it do to those prices of XRP, of Solana, Chainlink, Algorand, Stellar, Quant? Whoever's smart enough to move in and get a piece and get a chunk. And a lot of them have already positioned themselves. But let's keep going. Don't worry, there's much more. I'm just, every little bit I'm hearing, I have thoughts.
Serves some 19,000 clients and does business in 180 different markets. And here to discuss the report and some other issues around cross-border payments.
Wait a minute. Listen, folks, go to payments.com. Payments.com. This video is on an article titled Cross-Border Market Share Will Depend on Instant Decisions. Go to the 1 minute and about 7-second mark when the gentleman, no disrespect, when the gentleman Dawid Jonas pops up. This is the most sick head warping I've ever seen on camera. You know how the camera makes. If you're on camera a lot, you know this happens, right? If there's certain cameras, you get too close, it warps how your head looks or your chin looks or something. And I could tell that's what happened, but it just looks hilarious if you see it. My humble opinion, that made me laugh. Let's get back to business, all right? Stay professional.
I'd like to welcome David Yanas. He is the head of clearing and FI payments at Citi Services. Did I get all the intro right, David?
Very good. Yes, you did. And thank you for hosting me. It's a pleasure. It's a great opportunity to speak to the details of our report.
Yeah, we're very excited.
I'm going to skip some of this excessive verbiage. Let's skip this a little bit. Let's get to this.
Market share from traditional FIs in the next 2 to 5 years.
Wait.
Market share from traditional FIs in the next 2 to 5 years.
Go back a little bit more.
The first one is about the impact of fintech competition. The report indicates that fintechs expect to gain market share from traditional FIs.
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, it was so beautiful. Like a fine painting. They're going to take a significant, sir, don't do that. Tell the truth. They're going to take significant market share from the legacy system. The legacy system can't even beat money market funds. They can't compete with us, and we're not trying to compete with them. We're trying to congeal with them to take that bank money. And we're so close. So close. We've never been closer. Crypto's about to be unleashed. We've never been closer. SEC is finished. We've never been closer. Let's keep going.
In the next 2 to 5 years.
Look at his reaction when that was said. It looked like it pained him like, oh man, my employers, my supervisors, whoever's above him doesn't really want that discussion out there, doesn't want that piece of information out there. It looked like it pained him to hear it. Look at his face. Read the body language. Let's keep going. Because he knows it's true.
David, how do you think traditional banks need to compete for cross-border payment revenue and potentially cooperate with new entrants?
Right, compete. Let's keep going. You can't compete with us. You're going to work with us. Really? You want me to be? I'm being very polite. You're going to work for us. But I mean, to each his own. You could disagree with me on that. I mean, no disrespect, but we're going to take that bank money. It's right there.
That's a very good question. And yes, we absolutely see an expectations from both sides, banks and FIs, of the market share shifting from traditional banks to fintechs.
Oh, stop. What did he just say? Did you hear that? Did you hear? Oh, that was beautiful. I know your ears heard all that. It had to take in all of those beautiful words. What did he say? Let's play that again. Let's see if we can get that again.
From traditional banks to fintechs.
From traditional banks to fintechs. Who's at the forefront? Who's the best of the best? Who's the first in line to take a huge amount of business from the banks? They're just going to hand it over. They need to survive. Let's keep going.
And fintechs actually believe that they are going to be much more aggressive that banks see it in terms of capturing that market share. They believe that they are going to be able to.
The fintechs are going to be much more aggressive. Why? What just changed is going to allow them to be more aggressive? Oh, you mean like a whole new energy in the US when it comes to crypto? You mean like crypto about to be completely unleashed? The regulator energy is going to be changing. The political energy overall allegedly is changing. That now the bank coin companies have shown, their CEOs, COOs have shown a lot more hunger coming out. And that's going to lead to a lot more business. They've even said this directly. But that was the change. Golden age, folks. Just envision it. It's okay to visualize. Golden age. Let's keep going.
To capture meaningful market share in next 2 to 5 years versus bank, thinking that it is going to happen, but maybe a little bit slower in next 5 to 10 years.
It's going to happen. I'm going to just leave that there. Let's go.
And the question here is, why is that market share shift happening? Before we go into what to do about this.
Why is the market share happening? See, I hate when they play the fool. You know why. We're better than you in every possible way. The people make money from top to bottom, but mostly the people at the so-called bottom, they're really not at the bottom, really the best in the world. But this is how most of the world looks at the people that are regular, right? They're making a ton of money, and they can stake, they can delegate, they're buying houses, they're buying cars for their children, they're sending children to college off crypto, they're lending out their crypto. Now they're pretty much their own banks now. You can't compete with that. You want a piece of that. The banks already said they want to, go deep with staking and delegation, things like that. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but I showed you the document. I showed you the article. Thanks for saying that, banks. We waited a long time for you to say that. That came out about maybe 2.5 months ago. You want a piece of it as well. You know we're better than you. Let's keep going.
We need to peel the onion a little bit and then think about why underlying clients of banks are moving to fintechs, right? So we also asked that question in our survey, and the answer was not surprising. The main 3 reasons why both corporate and retail clients are considering moving business elsewhere.
Corporate and retail moving business elsewhere. The shift is happening, folks. It's happening. It's going to continue. I'm going to fast forward a little bit here, a little bit. All right. Try not to miss anything.
Manager in me is excited about this, right? Because market share shift tells me that there is room to differentiate. As I said, clearly our clients recognize that there are different ways of delivering this service. And I know that if I invest in innovation, I will deliver an ROI and I will deliver returns for my shareholders, right? So that's actually...
So what he's saying pretty much is he's confirming what everyone else is saying. I think that, was it the head of Coinbase also said this in like the last 2 days or 3 days, something like that. I think it was them. Don't quote me on this, that a lot of these big companies are reallocating massive amounts of capital into obviously pushing the advancements of these new technologies like DLT technology. And of course, AI is right there. Oh, man. So that's all he's doing. He's just confirming that the congealing is coming and it's advancing. They're allocating more money towards that. It's advancing. The push, you're going to see it become more obvious over the next few months. That's what he's talking about right here, in my humble opinion, from my interpretation.
Number of institutions in these markets for whom it's not new to operate 24/7 technology, operate 24/7 operations, operate.
Yes, but see, here's what he's leaving out. It's not new to them to operate 24/7. For a lot of them, yes, it's new. Let's be clear about that. They've been clear about that. That's number one. Number two, to be able to operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with true global reach and interoperability is not something they've ever had before. Hence why they're trying to congeal with this technology as fast as possible. Hence why people are anticipating the crypto markets exploding, the DLT-based markets exploding in value over the next few years. And this time, it's very serious because there'll be nothing holding it back this time. Nothing. I mean, apparently, right?
24/7 customer service. But it is more in...
Now, he did mention the little customer service thing there at the end, which was very interesting. But that also is going to be in combination with DLT technology and AI. AI is going to run everything. You have your digital agents and your digital customer service, however, if there's a differentiation there, because sometimes there is, running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365, and they're getting better and better and better. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, listen to this part right here about what they're exploring, right? There's an importance to all of this. Listen to this real closely, okay?
Last question for you, David. The report talks about 3 things to investigate and adopt, right? ISO 20022.
What?
Tokenization and CBDCs.
ISO 20022. Here it goes again. I'm not the one talking about it. They've been talking about it. They've been talking about the importance of it and tokenization. They say CBDCs, but we don't have to worry about that because it looks like some of these bank coins might be used directly behind the scenes. Now, like I said, behind the scenes, but still getting used directly, possibly because the US now was like, hey, we're not going to do a CBDC. You know, they don't have to. They never had to because they have things at hand, like using the XRPL if they really want to, RippleNet if they really want to, and I differentiate between those two for obvious reasons. Chainlink if they want to, Solana, etc. They can use those things directly if they really want to, build the technology on those blockchains. But listen, I'm going to scroll down here before I let him say the rest of this. In the interview, all right, this is what it says from the paragraph here. In an interview with Payments, David Jonas, head of global clearing and FI payments at City Services, noted that ISO 20022, the financial messaging standard that's being implemented by financial institutions around the globe, will go a long way toward fostering that interoperability, which would mean that if they didn't have it, logically speaking, if they didn't have that, then they would not be able to achieve a certain amount of interoperability, correct? So therefore, it's significant, just like we heard a lot of other organizations say it's significant. I'm not the one saying it. Like I said, I've shown proof and evidence. Payments has spoken on this twice. BIS has spoken on this. Volante Tech spoke about it. They put a whole document out about the importance of ISO, but once again, you do your own research, believe what you want, right? In a report titled Cross-Border Payments 24/7 Faster, Simpler, and Smarter, unquote, he says that corporate and retail clients are considering moving their business away from traditional FIs. Okay, let me play just a little bit more, then we're going to close out with a little bit of the Bitcoin news, okay? This is a good video, actually.
How would you counsel a multinational corporate to approach the situation here, and what impact do you expect those 3 to have over the next year?
Very, very good question, man.
Ooh, look how he stuttered. Why did he stutter, folks? Nervous energy. He has to watch what he's saying right here. You know why? Because when he's speaking on ISO, he knows there's stuff connected to that. He don't want to get you too bullish. When he's speaking on tokenization, he knows there's things connected to that, and he doesn't want to get you too bullish. He has to be careful about what he's going to say. Notice his stutter. This is at 15 minutes and 40 seconds. Go check it out. A little bit before that, he stutters. Why? For every effect, there is a cause. For every cause, there is a B cause. What's the cause for this? Come on, let's go.
Maybe I'll start with the expected impact, and I'll start with ISO because we have been on the journey for a while. Very, very high level. I see the impact of ISO manifesting in 2 ways, through standardization and through structure. Improved structure, of course, means that payments instructions exchanged between different parties are going to be more structured, which in turn means that they will be more and more. Which also means that anyone who's not implementing such a thing is going to be less structured. If it's going to be more structured because of this, then it will be less structured without it, which hence why those particular entities probably would have a problem participating. If not, they wouldn't be participating at all hey, let's keep going. Automated. More and more of these transactions will be processed straight through without human intervention. The processes such as...
So pretty much if you want to move forward in advance, you're going to need to implement this. Let's keep going. If he's saying that this is what it's going to bring, then the obvious idea would be that without this, you would not have that. So it's pretty important. I wonder what bank coins are, ready for this. I don't know.
Sanctions are going to be more and more automated, which in turn will make payments more efficient, less subject to a manual or human error, and more cost effective.
So all of that It's his thoughts on ISO. Hey, like I said, that's not coming from me. That's coming from David Jonas, head of clearing and FI payments city services. So make your own interpretations. Go listen to it for yourself. Read the article for yourself. Now let's close out with a little bit of this. Do we have any? We have a little bit of Bitcoin news. So now we're going to do a little bit of Bitcoin news. This article is titled "Czech Central Bank Chief Wants the Country to Buy Billions in Bitcoin." They're all going to want this. They all probably want it right now. They just haven't acted upon it, because if they acted upon it, you're going to see that price skyrocket. These people are not fools. They understand that Bitcoin is primed to go much higher, and they want a piece of it. What I'm waiting to see is, once they all start jumping in, how much influence do they have? Do they wield over regular people who are not into Bitcoin right now? And yes, globally, regular people start flooding into Bitcoin, it definitely can have an impact. As of right now, for the foreseeable future, until that occurs, these big businesses, these bank, who is this person again? Czech National Bank Governor Aleš Mikl. Listen, so if individuals like this continuously are trying to get involved in Bitcoin and trying to get others like themselves involved in Bitcoin, this is going to be the big push for Bitcoin for quite some time. That particular catalyst right there. And then later on, as the price of Bitcoin starts going up significantly once more and more regular people their mouth will begin to water, and they will want a piece of that action as well. So I just wanted to put that on your table. This is going to be something to watch for a long time to come, as we're constantly getting told now that there's more and more of these giant asset managers, banks, nations that want a piece of Bitcoin. All right. So I just wanted to make you privy to that. And then we have a little bit of Solana news here. This article is titled "Solana's Path to $200 Billion Market Cap Timeline and Tokens Poised to Rally with Sol." That I don't care about. I don't. So it says here, with Solana's market value predicted to reach $200 billion, the season for cryptocurrencies would cause. Wait, who's predicting it to reach $200 billion? You got to drop some names or something. Is it just you? This development emphasizes Solana's growing dominance. What's the market cap at right now? I don't follow stuff like that. I don't. This development emphasizes Solana's growing dominance in decentralized finance, driven by its remarkable scalability and strong ecosystem. The success of Solana is likely to stimulate excitement among the crypto market, therefore supporting those currencies with strong foundations and unique uses. I suppose I don't see a correlation between when one coin goes up and influencing another, unless it's Bitcoin. To be quite honest, Solana goes up, I don't believe it's going to affect HBAR. HBAR has its own audience. Solana has its own audience. They're bullish for different reasons. They're making different types of news. And really, I shouldn't use those two, because they're both very, very bullish and have been working really, really hard over the last year, and had a lot of good news come out about them. But others, not so much. But so I don't see that connection there. I think Solana is going to do good on its own, and I'm watching it on its own, really. And the reasons that I'm bullish about Solana are partnerships. I don't care about a market cap or none of that stuff like that. Back when Solana was super low, the thing that made me bullish on it and buy a good amount of Solana was because big companies were talking about it. And I said, oh, this is something interesting here. This could be very bullish. And then Solana, somebody from Solana came out and they were talking about how they wanted to go after the banks, confirming my thoughts that they were probably going to become a bank coin. I haven't heard a lot about that since that time, but then I said, okay, well, it really is bullish then. And so then after some time, price started going up, just it's nowhere where it used to be, nowhere close to where it used to be. So that's why I became bullish on Solana. It says here, Solana is ready for a yet unheard of expansion as cryptocurrency season gets underway by Q4 of 2026. Analysts who? You just say that. It's like, what analysts are saying this? Analysts estimate a parabolic climb of 121.9%, therefore launching Solana to a $200 billion market cap with a market capitalization of $90.14 billion and a current price of $186 as of writing. I say that's like, because when you say analysts and then you give names, then we can look into the quotes and look into what they've been saying. Are they consistent? What's the reasoning for saying these particular things? It's like when I read about Bitcoin, I love it. I love it that they have like names attached to it. XRP, same thing. You know, if it's a Samson Mao said it or Ali Martinez said it or someone like that, you know, big timer like that. And you can go look up their quotes and find out for yourself, right? I think the best research is done for yourself, by yourself, you know. So you have people like me, yes, and I just put it in front of you. But a lot of my people, they come, they take these articles, they go read them themselves, right? And sometimes people, once in a while, not as often as used to, they might bring me something and say, hey, Mick, look at this. Look at what's going on. This is what I know, Mick. And a lot of that happens in the members only section. And there's some very brilliant people there. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with this. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.